Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To some of you and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Shout out to Austin Holloman. Thank you for having me on your show and for interviewing me and being patient with the answers. I just wanted to make sure that I did justice to the questions, and I was afraid that if I gave lazy answers, I might, by neglect, leave people with a misconception they didn't need. And that was why I answered the way I did. And I'm aware that I said some provocative things, but I got my reasons. I'll probably put them on Buy Me a Coffee if I remember. But I wanted to talk about some folks that were in the comments section that have no experience living here at all or visiting. None, just they ain't been here. While I, who has lived here for 10 years, was answering questions, some people just throwing stuff out there in the chat. And I don't mean in the form of questions, but informative statements that ain't had nothing to do with truth. Now, there were people who were trying to discuss what the actual problems were. They were trying to figure out, okay, what is a hardship? What is a problem here? I'm going to go ahead and tell you all that there are issues here. Of course, every place has them. I'm going to tell you what they are, but not here on YouTube. I'm going to tell you on Buy Me a Coffee. I've already started, actually. There's a particular issue I face, and I've already started. And I'm going to talk more about it. And I touched up on it last night, my time, yesterday afternoon, you all's time. So since I already touched up on it, I'll go more in depth on Buy Me a Coffee. I've started to talk about it on some of my Buy Me a Coffee uploads. If you make a donation once, you'll be able to get the next upload for about the first 24 hours it's available, maybe 36. If you become a recurring subscriber, you get to hear it again and again and again as many times as you like. I'm going to cover that. But the problems that you face here are not that you got this government that's just walking around looking to beat people, looking to throw you in jail, looking to take all your money for nothing. It's not like that. No. That's not what you have here. What you have here are things that are of a more everyday nature. Now, bribery and extortion used to be worse issues than what they are now. And some of you might think, well, Black Mind, you're not allowed to talk about what the problems are. There are things I don't know about. I've heard rumors, but I haven't actually witnessed them. And if they're true, I would not be allowed to talk about them. That's true, but I didn't witness them to say. However, there are things that regular people face, and you're allowed to say these things because these problems are not caused legally anyway. And I'll touch up on them. I'm going to state for now, with regards to the provocative statement that I made about how I would treat tobacco and skin bleach if I were actually in charge. I know that was a provocative statement for me to make. And I said that because I wanted you all to understand that the government actually takes serious drugs seriously. So you traffic in serious drugs. Addicts are not decapitated. They can be thrown in jail and given serious fines for using these drugs. But if a person voluntarily turns themselves in for rehab, they don't lose their job. They are not in any trouble. And if you turn your friend in who's an addict, then you're not in any trouble. But if you were caught covering for an addict, it's your ass too. They don't play around about these hard drugs here. And what I was stating is that I would treat tobacco like a hard drug because I have seen people get into arguments when they didn't get a cigarette. And I'm not capable of fibbing a guck what somebody's going through because they can't smoke. I can't be around smoke. I'm allergic to it. Kids are suffering sometimes because their country ass parents, trifling ass parents, even here, will smoke indoors in a closed room around the kids. So what? They need a cigarette. Kids' health and kids' lungs be damned. Niggas. I would treat tobacco like one of those drugs. You traffic in it, past whatever the quantity is, you die. Now, if you don't traffic in it, or we can't prove you did it, you live. But we catch you, and we can prove you did it, off with your head. What the hell are people smoking out here for anyway? Smoking because white folks on TV did it a long time ago, and they thought it was cool. And I look at them like, you stupid. If it had been nothing but us smoking on TV, you would have avoided it. That's not true, but I tell them that, try to put them on a guilt trip. I don't care. It's not something I'm bound to respect. Skin bleach, I do the same thing. Why the hell not? I'm not required to be okay and be nice about that sort of thing. If you're using skin bleach for, especially in a climate like this, you trying to give yourself cancer so you can look like the oppressor of the planet? Now, the difference is that when it comes down to using skin bleach, I would have people flogged for that. You use it, flogging. If you use it because you had a few dark spots, flogging. Lay your butt out in the sun, all of you will be dark. Fuck the shuck up. Sick of this. People imitating the worst group of people on the planet. I don't apologize for what I said. I'm letting you know that these folks here are actually kind of lenient. Now, some of y'all were like, Islam ain't black enough. It's anti-black. Blackity black this. And I done already said Islam is a solution for black people, but some of y'all think I'm a sellout for saying it. Okay, well, I told you where you can go to find out if I'm really a sellout or not. But look, here's the thing. While you're saying that, I turn around and say that I would treat skin bleach like one of these hard drugs for which traffickers get beheaded if they're convicted. Nobody said anything in support of that. What does that really mean? It means that most of our people don't want discipline, and that's all the F it is. And I'm going to tell you that there are three groups of people on the planet that really scoff and chafe at discipline. And when I tell you who the three are, it's going to shock you. One of them is us. We don't like it. You already know that. The other two are Western Europeans and their diaspora. You know, the ones that colonize the planet and don't think they should have to listen to anybody. Oh, come on. I'm a white guy. I don't have to follow these rules. Yeah, those guys. Or it could be the hillbillies amongst them too, and the rednecks. I ain't got to do what y'all say. These guys, they just sound different. It's the same thing. And the other group is not the Arab, but the Arab Bedouin. Sometimes just Arabs. But for the most part, the Arab Bedouin, I will get over on you every way I can. That is slick about it, but, they'll do it. They're always trying to undermine rules and systems, mainly because, well, you know what? That problem, that's what I'm going to talk about on Buy Me a Coffee. And their government is not with that. But they do it. They keep doing it. They never stop until they find there's just no way and no hope. And until they are backed into a corner where they either play fair or they wind up homeless in this climate, they'll never stop. And eventually they're going to realize, they're going to face that. And so with that being said, I'm going to let you guys know that I know it's an insult for me to sit up and have to compare you to the most stubborn anti-intellectual Bedouin on the planet and the Western European that colonized everybody else. But when you were of that mindset, that's exactly how the hell you are. And to be honest with you, if you're of that mindset, you might as well go on ahead and fight for the gynocracy. I'll talk more about that on Buy Me a Coffee if you decide to go and subscribe there. Thank you for listening. As always, Black Heart, Black Clown, Blackout, Assalamu Alaikum, Black Heterosexual, Non-Select Male Power because they don't like it, and Black Patriarchy until extinction or Judgment Day. Thank you for thank you for flying with us here at Jet Black Airways, where Jet Black is also a verb, and keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender justice forever.